I'm Kevin Nelson. Here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from the Vatican. At a prison 45 miles from Rome, Pope Francis celebrated the Mass of the Lord's Supper. The penitentiary houses 70 men and women who testified as a witness for the state against associates or accomplices. Rome Reports has more on the Pope's visit and Holy Thursday Mass.
Instead of in St. Peter's Basilica, the Pope celebrated the most important Mass of the year in this chapel. It is in the Paliano prison near Rome. Many people were in the area and they waited in the street to greet him. At the door of the prison, the director of the penitentiary excitedly received him. The Pope carried a flower to the image of the Virgin located in the prison. During the Mass, as tradition states, he washed the feet of 12 people. They were not only men, but also 3 women. In addition, there was also a Muslim who will be baptized in June. 2 are sentenced to life in prison. In the homily, he explained the profound meaning of this gesture of service, usually reserved for slaves. The Pope shared that Jesus wanted to set an example for all Christians.
Vi dirò che se voi potete fare un aiuto, un servizio al tuo compagno qui in carcere, alla tua compagna, fatelo, perché questo è amore, questo è come lavare i piedi, è essere servo degli altri. Durante questa cerimonia pensiamo a Dio, a Gesù, non è una cerimonia folclorica, è un gesto per ricordare quello che ha dato Gesù. Dopo di questo ha preso il pane e ci ha dato il suo corpo, ha preso il vino e ci ha dato il suo sangue. E così è l'amore di Dio. Pensiamo all'amore di Dio oggi soltanto.
The Paliano prison is unlike the others because it is reserved for those who have since collaborated with justice. The inmates prepared gifts for the Pope, like this icon. In addition, they gave the Pope all of these gifts, such as vegetables from their garden, a blanket of white wool, and a policeman cap.
Earlier in the day, the Pope celebrated the Chrism Mass in St. Peter's Basilica. The Pope blessed the oils that will be used in the sacraments of baptism, confirmation, ordination, and the anointing of the sick. With Holy Thursday commemorating the day Jesus shared his priesthood with the apostles, Pope Francis led the more than 1,500 priests, bishops, and cardinals in a renewal of their priestly vows and dedicated his homily to the importance of preaching with a joy that touches people's hearts. The Pope said that the good news of the gospel is not a thing, but a mission that brings delightful and comforting joy to the evangelizer. In news now from around the country, Bishop Frank Dewane of Venice, Florida, chairman of the Bishops' Committee on Domestic Justice and Human Development, is urging the governor of Arkansas, Asa Hitchinson, to consider the scheduled executions of 7 men within 11 days. The executions were moved up and are planned to be done in quick succession to use the state's last batch of the sedative midazolam before it expires at the end of April. The executions are scheduled between April 17th and the 27th. The bishop made his remarks in a statement released April 13th in which he urges the execution sentences be commuted to life imprisonment. The bishop said although the church stands with the victims of atrocious crimes and their families, he advised that mercy is the only way to overcome evil. Justice is necessary, very much so, he said, but by itself it is not enough. Justice and mercy must go together. More news now from the Vatican. This year, Easter Sunday also happens to be the date of the birthday of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI. It is a milestone year for the retired Pope who turns 90 years old. Rome Reports takes a look at what Pope Benedict will be doing for his birthday.
This year, Easter Sunday, is also the birthday of Pope Benedict XVI. As a surprise birthday gift, this book, Corporatores Veritatis, was written by former winners of the Ratzinger Prize. At its release, his personal secretary, Monsignor Georg Genswein, shared the former Pope's humble plans.
We will celebrate in a very small way, very strict. Easter Monday in the afternoon, only at home with a very Bavarian aspect. I cannot say more. The small dedication to Bavaria will do well for the Pope's heart and also ours.
Monsignor Genswein also spoke about Curatores Veritatis, expressing the feelings it has evoked upon the former pope.
Questo una bella sorpresa.
This is a beautiful surprise. Not only books, but many letters that arrive and have already arrived. I believe that soon they will have many effects. The affection is a beautiful sign that also does well for the Pope Emeritus.
The warmth and respect shown towards Pope Benedict XVI is a testament to his life of service to the Church.
And finally in the news, as expected, President Donald Trump signed a bill into law April 13th that allows states to redirect Title X family planning funding away from clinics that perform abortions and to community clinics that provide comprehensive health care for women and children. This new law will now override a rule change made in the last days of the Obama administration that prevented states from doing so. Title X of the Public Health Services Act was passed by Congress in 1970 to control population growth by distributing contraceptives to low-income families. Planned Parenthood is the largest recipient of the Title X funding. It is also the nation's largest abortion network, performing over a third of all abortions in the U.S. and receiving more than $500 million in federal funding each year. Under the Hyde Amendment, federal funding for abortion already is prohibited, but federal family planning funds were allowed to go to clinics and facilities for other health services. States had been acting on their own to prohibit Title X funding to agencies performing abortions until the Obama regulation. Well, that is all the information we have for you this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV network.